Hey everyone, I'm back with another truck talk video for you today. And what we're going to be talking about is my RAM mount setup. Now, a lot of Tacoma users, or not users, but owners, have put different types of RAM mounts on. Usually for the second gens, that either comes with, let me flip the camera around here, a little ball and socket that goes right here in the, as we like to say, oh shit handle. Or they'll put, much like Tacoma has put on, a mount there. I forget what the name of that one is. But there's also another option, which I've seen Tacoma has got a video coming up on at some point. I forget what the exact name is, but it's a little mount that goes right here. And I've imitated it. And it's not the exact same, but I feel like I did a pretty good job just fabbing one up with some sheet metal that I got from Home Depot and other stuff I had lying around our shop. I did not bother to take a video of me making this because it was a late night project, didn't really feel like it, and I didn't think I was going to really be that big of a deal. It's a really simple thing to do, but I figured why not just make a walk around of what exactly I did for it, and it'd be a great opportunity to talk about what my setup is for communications and navigation, as that has actually improved a lot and I still have yet to make a video on my CB. So to start off, it's very simply a sheet of metal from Home Depot, and you can see I actually decided to put bends and I cut it. A little hard to see with the light, but I cut it. This is doubled back on the edge, and on the corners here I've got it off, bent to the side to give it a little bit more rigidity, but doubled back so it's not sharp and gonna cut anybody or anything. And then I've just got 2 screws on each of these sides. I could have gone up with them, but I did not think about doing that. I know the actual one that you can get that's a little bit nicer is fine, but I feel like for a $10 piece of metal and some spray paint, this came out pretty well. And I realize not everybody's going to have the tools to do this. We just happen to have a lot of the tools necessary. Other than that, I then have my RAM mounts, which I have 2 on here right now. There is space for a third one in the middle there. Not that I would really use one. They already kind of block the screen a little bit, and I can adjust how it's all set up. I typically like to keep my phone as it is right here, or within reach. It's got enough space for my hand to move between it when I'm using the windshield wipers or switching over into 4 or putting on my hazards. There's just enough space for it, and if necessary I could even move this around and adjust how it is, but typically I like to keep it right about in that position. And it's perfect for running everything I need, whether it's maps or just changing music, because we all know how Toyota stereos, they're finally adding like Apple CarPlay in Android Auto this year, from what I understand, but we all know how crappy those can be. I mean, heck, if I turn it on and go to the navigation on here, which hopefully this doesn't start blasting music, but if I turn on and go to navigation, apps, oh look, traffic, it's not the most helpful thing in the world. It's just a bunch of green lines and shows me no real roads, and yeah, Tokyo Drift for everybody. But yeah, we all know how helpful that map is of showing us the routes. But anyway, so that's what I have for the phone, and of course on the tablet here I have it set up with I can set it up for Verizon, and which is what I use for cell phones and all that, but I don't have it. All I needed was GPS, which easily enough I have GPS here built into the tablet since it's got 4G capabilities, and it takes a minute to get a fix because it wasn't actually being used earlier. But once it gets a fix, it works pretty well. For apps, for navigation, I've got Gaia, Waze, Maps.me, Google Maps, Gas Buddy, Wonderground, the GPS test, which is just on the screen, national parks. So I use it for more than just navigation on the road. I can pull it out, bring it with me, and use it for trail navigation if I'm hiking or anything like that, which typically I just use my phone for. Other than that, it's pretty well set up. I adjust it. I can make it so the passenger has full access to it, and I don't even have to look at it. My sunglasses actually don't let me look at it. They have UV protection, or not UV. Anyway, I'm blanking on what it is, but see, now I do have a 3D fix, and yeah, that's that. I thought this was kind of a cool little thing that I was able to do with just stuff in the shop at home. It works really well. It is kind of a pain, which I assume is the truth with the real one too, of looking and having to remember, but it didn't take me long to adapt really. What positions each dial is for what feature setting you want for the temp and aircon, and it's actually been pretty easy. And I don't scratch myself or anything like that. Overall, I thought it was really good, and price-wise, it really was cheaper, because the real one, it's $50 to $70, I believe, somewhere in there, and this cost me, the RAM mounts alone, because you'd have to buy the RAM mounts for tablet and phone, or whatever your setup is anyway. The RAM mounts were $100, but the actual mounting bracket that I built, I'd want to say cost no more than $20, and I still have spray paint left over from it, like plenty of it. I bought base paint, black base, and then matte to go over it so it would look nice, and it came out looking stellar. I can still use that. I could probably make like 10 more of these and then maybe run out of paint, but metal, I used half a sheet of metal, so, and I think the sheet metal was like all $10 at Home Depot. So in total, this was probably like a $10 build if you really factored it in for total cost of everything. It'd still be like $25, but since I still have leftover stuff, which I've used for other projects, yeah, I'd say it's a good deal, and I don't really notice anything. Everything, when you're really on bumpy road, it's going to wobble, but it doesn't wobble for me that badly. On bumpy roads, when I'm on the highway, you don't even notice any movement in it. Like, I can stare at it for hours, and it does not seem to wobble or do anything. Yeah, other than that, I'll be back to you another time with a video about the CB radio. I'll probably actually film that right now and have it up next week. But anyway, like, comment, subscribe. I'd love to hear feedback from everybody. I know, as Riley and Lars are always telling me, lift it, but that's going to come later once it's at full weight. I have good reason for doing it that way. Anyway, as I said, like, comment, subscribe, and have a good day.